Welcome back. Part 2 of the Faith in Whatever podcast, episode 48, where we are bringing you the tragedy that is the Switch. The tragedy
No more YouTube.
that is the Nintendo Switch. As always, I am your host with the providential most, at Josh_Carmen. That's at TStudentLife. That's at James YUILE. That he. James is at James YUILE. Chris is at Marion Ranch. So if you know anything about us, you know that the four of us are probably the biggest video game heads that you've ever met. And so
we know everything.
Well, James actually literally does know everything that there is about video games, including their history, why they sell better in Canada.
Ready?
And
Best version of that one game that has a new version and they're different every year.
FIFA.
No.
Call of Duty.
No.
We're like video game hipsters.
Final Fantasy. Yeah, Final Fantasy. Best version. Ready, go.
The
14.
best one?
Yeah.
14.
Some people say 6, I say 7.
10.
I say 7 too.
Wrong.
Final Fantasy Tactics?
Tactics great.
Yeah, fun.
I have no idea what that
So
means.
moving forward, if you know, we actually have a second Faith in Whatever channel called Game Club, where every week we bring you the Game of the Week breakdowns. We are big Steam junkies.
Just huffing on Steam all day.
Big steaming junkies.
Okay, Steam is an outlet for games.
Yeah, it's a thing. So we like to play video games on there. James has a lot of stuff that he talks about with that, and James kind of actually runs that podcast. So be sure to double dip in our content, because basically between Game Club
that's the better stuff.
and Faith in Whatever, we're bringing you content like every day. I mean, what?
Just because you get more views doesn't mean that it's better.
What more could you get? I mean, what else do you need? Wait, we have a new series dropping in the next couple weeks called Snackerfice, which will also be fun. So we are kind of double dipping this week. We released a video in a response to the Nintendo live stream that happened last Thursday night, our time. So I guess it's a little bit later now. So we talked quite a bit. We had a 24-minute video, James, where we kind of reviewed and gave our analyses of what we thought of the initial impressions of the Switch. And new information has come out now that has drastically rewritten our opinions based on what we talked about this last week.
Yeah.
So we're going to jump into it.
And we also want to, we're a room full of different kinds of pastors, so I figured it'd be good to sort of mix this up with, there's a lot of youth pastors out there wondering, should I get this for the youth group, right? I've been hearing that from all of my pastor friends.
Who cares?
So
Is that because I have that opinion and you don't?
No, that's because you didn't watch our video like you said you did, because I opened up in the first 7 seconds with that line.
So okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I remember that.
So the just to open it up, it was announced to be the base console will be $299. It'll come with the 2 Joycon
Amazing
controllers.
price. Amazing price. Good price.
Good price.
It's the greatest price.
It's a handheld that also docks into an HDMI connected dock for charging and also for doing HDMI into a television. And it also comes with a few other accessories for that $299.
I mean,
everything
that's
you
the
need,
same price as a PSP was, and all it did was let you
play awesome games.
Play games portably. You know
That's what I was asking them that night when we were watching. I was like, doesn't this remind you of the PSP when it came out? And he was like,
Yeah,
yes.
but this is portable and non-portable for the same price.
Yeah.
So the other one becomes non-portable if I just sit in the same spot.
I mean, it's a console and a portable game.
All right. Sorry.
GameStop has announced that it's sold out, but let me just beware, buyer, that Nintendo has a history of doing forced scarcity where they purposely only allow so many to be sold up front. So it goes in the news that they're sold out, and they make a bunch of waves.
9.
They'll start leaking them out slowly. So even though if they're sold out for day one, you can still the first month it'll be tough, but you can find them. I bet after the first month you should be able to find them easily. So, and that's just Nintendo's way of doing things. That's their way of pretending like they have a hit console, even if they don't have necessarily a hit console. And the games that are coming out with it, on day one, the only games that I'd say are a big deal is the new Zelda will be coming out with it, and a game called 1-2 Switch, which is sort of going to be the Wii Sports of the Nintendo Switch.
When you look into the eyes of your opponent. Directly into their eyes.
Later in the spring, you'll get Mario Kart. In the fall, you'll have Super Mario Odyssey, which is the next Mario game, and Splatoon 2 in the summer. So Splatoon. It's a big game.
It's a fun game.
It's a first-person shooter, but instead of guns, it's like paint guns. It's like literal paint guns.
They have
not
they already have a
guns.
Wii U version?
They do. They're the first one.
Splatoon 1.
Yeah. On
this time it's personal.
So some things that came out ever since that first video is the cost of this device. We knew it was $299, but what they hadn't told us yet at that moment was how much the accessories are going to cost. Added Joycon
Which we thought would be
controllers.
reasonable, right? Like we didn't think it was going to be through the roof, yeah?
Yeah, so if you want a Pro controller, that's $70.
That's insane,
That's
dude.
a lot of money. If you want extra Joy-Con controllers, which are the controllers that come with the device, if you need more of those, $80 per pair.
Dude, or $50 for one?
For half the pair, yeah.
I don't understand why they would do like
that's very expensive.
They're already always taking the place of the underdog system. Why are you going to shoot yourself in the foot?
And the weird controller dock for the Joy-Con controllers, so they can come together as something that's more like a traditional handheld.
To form Voltron.
That's $30, I believe.
It doesn't do anything except have handles.
And have some extra charge to it, I
so,
believe.
So give us real quick. I'll go ahead, finish your price list, and then I got a question.
Yeah, and then to round out the price list, if you need an extra dock, I believe that's $80 or $90.
Dude,
No, it might be around
$80 for the dock?
for the extra dock.
There's no motion bar or sensor bar thing, right?
There is. On the handle, there is.
Yeah, the hand, they have gyroscopic sensors, but there's no bar, no.
It senses distance and shape.
Wasn't this one of the complaints with the Wii, that you end up with a ton of accessories?
Yeah, but those accessories are at least affordable.
Yeah.
Like the nunchuck.
So give us
only like 15,
if we get give us the basic thing that we need to start playing with a friend, and then give us
look,
like the
if you want to play on
version.
your own, $299 is going to
much?
get you there plus the price of your games.
Okay.
If you want to play with one friend and you want to play with I would say limited control schemes.
Yeah.
So you can take those two Joy-Con controllers and split them between two friends for many games. And so the $299 base model will get you play with a friend, right? But once you go past two people or you want better control schemes, you start investing money. We were just having that conversation earlier today. You said, man, I think I'll get two of these for the youth group. I'm like, well, you're looking about $1,000, right? Because the two consoles will be $600, and then if you need 3 sets of new controllers for each device, then that's an added $480. So you're right up there at $980
before tax.
Yeah, before taxes, by the way.
Jeez.
Which are theft.
So the question,
no games.
And I would
Nailed
say
it.
not many games.
Yeah.
The launch games, there's some shining bright examples of great games in there, but there's a lot of games I don't care about.
So I don't know. I sit at this. So the question becomes then, what are we gonna do about it from the youth group side? Are you gonna comprarlo? Or are you gonna buy it straight
I'm
away?
gonna get one because he showed me that 1-2 Switch game. It looks awesome.
And
It
maybe
is
for some
gonna be
people
fun.
who didn't grow up in youth group, I mean, there's a pretty common story from youth groups that is there was an N64 or a GameCube or a Wii where people played Smash Brothers and Mario Kart and sort of your classic multiplayer Nintendo games. It's sort of a way
approachable, non too violent.
Yeah, it's sort of like for your all night events or just like to kill some time.
Actually, we used to play GarageBand
Those
a
are the
ton.
worst.
GarageBand, yeah. So that's why this is a conversation that matters to some pastors, because it's that device you can throw in the corner that gets used whenever you need it to.
We ask, is this going to be the N64 of our generation kind of thing?
And it doesn't. I mean, it's not pricing itself in that position, right?
It doesn't feel that way, man. And the selection is like awfully limited because party games, fun group games are like an even smaller subset of what the Switch is going to offer.
One of the concerns is the Wii is that the accessories didn't have the greatest lifespan. They would break every year or whatever, or kind of crack. And
now, is that the accessories' fault, or is that because they're in the hands of teenagers? So,
well, because they get used and they're droppable and they get misplaced, they get sat on by accident. And do these things have built-in batteries or rechargeable or replaceable?
I never saw any kind of when we watched the video and we saw the back controls, I never saw a thing that looked like it would come off so you could put a battery in there.
Yeah. That's probably why they cost so much.
They all charge
because they have lithium-ion batteries in them instead of spaces for AA's.
Yeah,
which also means that in a year and a half you'll cut your battery use time in your controller in half.
Also, the other bad news is Zelda is going to take up 40% of your hard drive.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that's both
so
good and
explain
bad
that
news
to us.
So the bad news is it comes with only 32 gigabytes of onboard storage.
Which, dude,
that's not a lot.
My phone is better than that.
Right. The good
not
news
my phone, but phones are.
Is unlike the other consoles, it has an SDXC slot, which is basically a small SD card.
So it's meant for you to upgrade then.
And it can handle up to a 2 terabyte card.
Oh, okay. Well,
so it gets better.
That's not a big deal. That's right. Okay, fair enough. Then that's a moot point as far as I'm concerned.
It also means, I would say, back to the youth group thing, there is, I think the 1-2 Switch game can't be ignored. The game looks like, for partying, like for a party scenario,
watching people and still feeling
fun.
Yeah,
because it's a game that
how many things can you do?
Well,
They did 6.
IGN reported that they played 6 of the available games, but they didn't say that was all of them. There's probably a bunch more. So the idea is all the games developed for this 1-2 Switch, you're not supposed to pay attention to the screen all that much. Instead, they're all designed for people to pay attention to each other. Using these motion controllers that have and some of the ideas seemed awesome. There's the quick draw game where it's literally like you're trying to outdraw your friend or whatever.
Which I'm not quite sure how long that is fun for.
5 minutes.
But it's one of those things like the party atmosphere makes it better. It's not a game. It's never a game I'd play alone. But a youth group of like
I guess you could do
people.
like a tournament person. Like as long as the kid keeps winning, he stays there.
Right.
And then the loser gets
Most
replaced.
consecutive victories gets a beer. Or I don't know.
That's how your youth group works.
Dang.
Or we were looking at the one where you had to guess how many ball bearings, right? So the way we should mention this now, the controllers have an all new. They're calling it HD Rumble. It's a new rumbling technology. So all of our phones rumble to a certain amount, right? But what these do is they have technology where they can reproduce sensory experiences. The demo they ran when they first revealed the Nintendo Switch is you can hold the controller up and you hold it like a cup of ice, and if you shake it, it's able to reproduce however many ice you want in the cup, and you feel like there's 3 pieces of ice.
Well, that's one of the games. How many balls is you're supposed to pretend like you're holding a can,
right?
And you and the person you're against have to guess
kind of roll
as
them
quickly
around
as you can how many are in there.
and try
It
to guess.
sounds so stupid to me, dude.
But these are what party games are all about. They're about these small, stupid experiences that you laugh over.
I mean, this is
But for $500, why don't I just go get a can, put some bearings in it, and just roll it around?
What is this, like Thailand?
Yeah. To be fair, as far as we know, the 1-2 Switch experience can be done with one console, right? And what comes in the $299 package.
The cool thing, this could almost be an upfront game. If you had a screen and you put the Switch on the screen, some of these games could literally replace some of the upfront games that you do with students.
Or you could just get a can of Folgers, throw 8 bearings in there.
You do that, and at my youth group, I'll have this, and then
we'll see which one has more money to do other stuff at the end of the year.
we'll see which one has more.
It should be mentioned also, in case there's any parents watching this and they want to know if they should buy this for their kids, that there's going to be really interesting parental features that will be available on an app. So your phone, your smartphone can have an app that controls the parental features of what's going on in the console.
So you don't have to know how to use the Switch in order to best protect your kid.
Yeah, and
that's great. That's really cool.
And it's one of those things like if you're worried that you have a son or daughter that might like hack your parental controls on the console and switch them when you're not away, well, if it's on your app, you always know what's going on.
Yeah,
you can check your phone.
Do PlayStation or Xbox have that?
They all have parental controls.
No, but on apps, app specific.
What I can say is Xbox is probably like this. For the PS4, you can log into a website and alter parental controls.
Yeah, but it's not right there in front
My
of you.
guess is Nintendo's will be the most fully featured because Nintendo has always been about family safety.
Yeah, good for Nintendo. That's a good way to make your product less awful.
All right.
And we also got to mention one of the, I would call it a negative, is that there's an online fee.
Yeah, well, it's so
now I've got a budget as a church.
It'll be the online features will
about
be
the Switch to
free
begin.
until the fall, and in the fall they'll roll out a cost that they haven't named yet.
Great.
So long as the cost is reasonable, I don't see this as a problem on a personal level because
what's reasonable to you?
The
Xbox is a joke.
The Xbox is $60 a year, so is the PS4.
That doesn't bother me. I would do $60 a year, something like that. $5 a month doesn't seem to be like that big of a deal in order to enjoy online services.
Well, I'm thinking early days of Xbox.
You don't pay $5 a month though. You pay
$60 on the upfront. But so I mean, again, that's not terribly bothersome to me, right? Like
it's a cost.
Don't you need to charge to be able to provide such a service like that? Like servers are a big deal to maintain.
Let me put it this way.
To maintain them.
PlayStation 3 didn't charge for its entire life.
Yeah, that's true. The PlayStation 3 was free. It was the PS4 that charges.
Right.
Xbox Live was way better.
I've been on Xbox Live since 2002, and I've been paying $5 a month. More servers, more complete, less crashing, way better.
Oh, it wasn't way better. I think that gets a little
leaps and miles.
Yeah, because you played so much PS3.
I did.
I knew students in my youth group who, dude, I can't afford a PS3, so I got an Xbox 360. And they had like 2 accounts, They've had it for like 4 years. I'm like, dude, you spent like $1,200 on Xbox Live account, and you didn't even realize it.
Yeah. Well, so if Nintendo charges for its online services and it's as good as the other consoles' online services,
as Microsoft,
it's par, and I'd say it's arguably okay.
Is this going to be a Zoom?
But
That's all I wanna know.
Nintendo has always had
You should be
really,
so lucky.
really subpar connectivity.
How many did you own a Zune?
Yeah,
Yeah,
two of them.
Two.
They're great devices.
So on that note, on that tragic news,
I'm kind of bummed that the accessory is so. I was really looking forward. So we have two youth rooms in there, and they're divided by a wall. That it'd be kind of cool. I have that where you play the games where you can't see each other's screen, so it's kind of fun. Like two teams, in two different rooms.
shoot through the wall.
No, just having the idea of like they're about to play something. We're gonna log on and both play a game. There's gonna be no screen cheating
and it's got
because you're in different
local.
rooms.
It has local wireless, so you wouldn't even have to have internet in the room. If you put two devices together in the same
2017,
room.
I have internet in the room. That'd be ridiculous if I didn't. But,
Well, let's say you go on a mission trip and
Okay.
like you go on like
Stop
a
being
weekend
ridiculous,
camp
James.
getaway kind
Okay.
of thing. If you bring two consoles with you, they will connect to each other without the need of a Wi-Fi.
that is
That-
actually
that
kind of
is-
cool because
that
in
is
the
neat,
van you
yeah.
could literally have two teams of playing some game.
Now you can
On
play
two
1-2
consoles.
switch when you're driving.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
I used to play Bop It while I was driving.
So
Flip
okay,
it. Bop It.
so James owns
Flick it.
Zunes and Garrett is a reckless
So on
driver.
a scale of GameCube to NES.
Is GameCube the fail?
Yeah.
I think one. Here,
At least it has a
Here's what
handle.
happened. Here's what happened for me when they first
Handle.
showed that announcement trailer months ago,
It looked
where
awesome.
it looked great, and I was sold. After Thursday, I've been unsold. It
You
went.
don't get one.
You systematically undid your own work, Nintendo.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get one.
If I get it, I'm getting it for Game Club.
Or
Yeah.
wait till Mario comes along.
I don't see you not getting one. I see you
No,
getting
James
one.
is gonna buy one. James has owned
Pretty
every
well.
system
I
since
would-
the
but
Zune.
the thing is my primary reason
Because
for
your kids they're at that age now. This would be perfect for them.
it would be, and it's going to cost me so much money to buy their controllers.
Well, you can sell your Wii for $81.
I can sell my Wii for like $5.
$5 at a garage sale,
Thanks, GameStop.
and that'll pay not even for one controller.
Yeah.
And
see?
on that note, very good. Anything else? Any other thoughts we got?
Well, okay. Well, youth group guys, is it worth youth pastors out there getting?
Well, see, here's what I'll tell you where I'm at, and I might have explained this on one of the Game Club episodes. Is I recently got a budget to redo our rooms. I actually have two rooms, two TVs. One's 4K, one's 1080p, both really big, and I bought two.
Spent
That's
all his
called
money
having
on
a
TV.
budget.
Spent all his money on TVs.
Yeah, no, it costs a lot.
4K TVs
So,
are not that expensive nowadays.
It's just a big chunk. On Black Friday, or Cyber Monday, I bought two
Oh.
Amazon Fire
Oh.
game editions because I thought, well, we'll be. A lot of the youth group is spent you have 6 minutes to play a game or 10 minutes to play a game before their parents pick them up, and just literally the loading times to log on like a first-person shooter in my last youth group, it was a waste.
Yeah.
We had a PS3. It was probably halfway through its life cycle of a PS3. And the kids would just literally log on and play Jetpack Joyride that I downloaded for free. I'm like, you could have played this on your phone, and now we have a PS3. So I'm just hesitant. The students keep asking, and they're not begging. They're going, so are we going to get Xbox One or PS4, like the Xbox One S or PS4 Pro? Like, what are we
You
going to
should
do
get
with these?
Pong.
What are we going to do with these TVs?
Really taken back.
Like, what systems are we going to get? And I was like, I want to save money, so I'll probably get the next thing that when Nintendo comes out.
the
new
Nintendo
this was-
Switch, by the way, only goes up to 1080. That 4K TV would
what?
be wasted on the Switch.
Are you serious?
Should have done your
100%
research.
serious.
So, I can still get whatever I want. I just was like, okay, cool. So I won't even play the PS4 Xbox game. I'll just get the new Nintendo system.
This is why youth pastors don't get big budgets.
And now I'm kind of bummed that it's not going to save me any money. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
kind of bummed
it totally
that
doesn't.
it might be better in the long run. Maybe less violent games. We'll be able to pick it up and play it quicker, but it's definitely not saving me any money. And
But
I don't
it's-
have the budget to buy two. That's for sure.
But at least, well, not this year, but for sure for this 1 year to buy one. I think it's well
Yeah,
worth.
and
the
you could
investment.
buy accessories in the next budget.
Yeah,
year.
it's super worth the investment there, especially on that 1080p TV. That'll be a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
the fact that you can pick it up and take it somewhere to an all-nighter where you may not have the best reception there and play locally against each other and not have to worry about it, that to me actually sells the idea of buying two for the sake of being able to connect with students.
Like 2 people, you could eight students could play something.
Yeah,
fun.
that sounds super good to me. So
Oh wait, 8 people can play on one, right?
Two can play on one.
No, total. The most players you can
yeah,
have.
you can connect.
You can
8
connect 8 individual
switches.
together.
So 16.
So
people
only
can
2
play?
people can play on one Switch on every single. There's no 4-player games. Like if I buy
Well,
one,
if it's connected to television, there might be some games that are 4-player. I'm saying, but as far as having an individual Switch this big, it only
how would a TV increase the amount of people who can play?
there's more screen size. You wouldn't want to split a 7-inch screen into 4.
You would not.
Yeah.
You're right about that. Okay.
So Yeah, so I'll probably go through and get one. I think I'll buy one, but I will probably.
Hey, and then we do camp together, so we'll just bring them both there and have as many Switches as we can possibly have.
And that sounds pretty good to me, and that's why I think it'd be useful because the reception up there is not always the best.
And according to the controller prices, if you drop and break your Switch, it's really only like $175 worth of the system to begin with. So get a new one.
Yeah, but if it's anything like the GameCube, it can withstand being dropped from the top of a ladder.
And if it's anything like a Wii, it'll break just by looking at it in 6 months.
So with that, be sure to check out the Nintendo Switch if you work in ministry. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can always find us on any form of social media. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We are at youtube.com/faithandwhatever, faithandwhatever.com. On Twitter, we're faith, the letter N, whatever. On Instagram, we're faith and whatever. On Snapchat, we're faith and whatever. I'm at Josh_Carmen. That's at TStudentLife. Jimmy is at JamesYUILE, and Chris is at Marion Ranch. Thanks so much for stopping by. We love you.
Peace.